What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody. Hitting up 150. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Got a nice little win in fantasy. Getting back on the right track. How's everything on your end?
Can't complain here. Just getting back into the swing of things again after a weekend of golf.
Oh, how'd you finish up?
We tied our flight and we lost in a card match. So fortunately, we came in second place in our flight, but we did pretty well. Rick carried the team the last couple of rounds. Last day I was hurting. I was like, I played 4 days of golf in a row, and gosh, I don't remember how long. So almost 90 holes in 4 days, and then my body was feeling it on Saturday. That's for sure.
Okay, sound like you was running a full out there, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot how to swing Sunday or Saturday afternoon.
I mean, let's get right into it, man. We had week 3 of the NFL wrap up. We had the Giants and the 49ers on the Thursday night game. I mean, Giants pretty much got washed up. Nothing we didn't expect.
No.
There's no Saquon. And then we had Danny Dimes trying to throw passes out there like he's Peyton Manning, but it didn't work.
Yeah, short week too. No Saquon. Usually you kind of rely heavily on your running backs there in those short weeks. So San Francisco's defense is just tough. Obviously their offense is solid. So yeah, tough spot for the Giants right there, to be honest.
The receivers just couldn't get open, man. I don't know if it was the coaching or are our receivers that bad, man. Might be a mix of both, man.
Yeah, it was definitely ugly there for sure.
And hopefully they figure out what they need to do come the next game, because they're gonna need to be slinging that ball.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I mean, Barkley's out for what, 2 weeks?
Yep, 2 more weeks. So
2 more weeks minimum. So yeah, they're gonna have to come up with a game plan here, and maybe get some quick outs, get those bubble screens going, and then look for Waller down the seam.
Or some more designed Danny Don run plays, because
that too, yeah.
Because it's not rushing enough, man.
For sure.
Then we had the Pats versus the Jets. I mean, the Jets struggled, man. How do you feel about your team, man?
Again, this is once Aaron Rodgers went down, I think there was some hope because the defense, played pretty well against the Bills. End up pulling that one out. Go to Dallas and kind of get steamrolled a little bit. But I think people are like, oh, as long as Zach can manage the game, maybe they can make a run. But they've got it. I don't know if it's the coaches or he's just so afraid of making a mistake that he's not fitting in passes into tight spots. And if you're waiting for guys to get wide open in the NFL, just not going to happen. Very very rarely do you get a guy wide open running down down the field somewhere. So with the way that they got him playing, they may not win another game because defense again does its job on Sunday. One blown kind of coverage play gets the Patriots their only touchdown, but the offense for the Jets struggled for 3 quarters, and by the time they woke up and started moving the ball, it was too late. So I don't know. They're probably in reality looking at 5-12, something like that. But I mean, I don't know how long you can keep Zach Wilson in there. I mean, I understand there's not a lot of options, but man, it's disheartening. I'm sure in the locker room, having as much talent as they have on that team, and see the frustration on Garrett Wilson. He's getting open, and Wilson's just not holding the ball long enough or not finding him when he slips open, and so. I guess we'll see. This week another obviously tough matchup with Kansas City in prime time, but I wouldn't be shocked if they make a QB change after this week.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, if I was a Jets fan, I'd just probably be hoping that we get in position to get another receiver, go out there and get Harrison Jr. Come to draft to pair him up with
they're going to have to draft a quarterback.
Well, I mean, if you get the first pick, you gonna take Caleb and not
Oh yeah,
and still have Aaron Rodgers, or
100%. Let Caleb sit for 1 year. Let
oh
him sit
man,
behind Rodgers.
I don't know.
I,
I don't know if
you have to.
people's gonna let that fly, man.
100%. That's what they do. And then you let him learn. You start him years just like Mahomes did, right? Mahomes sat for that first year. I mean, KC wanted him. They traded up to get him. They let him sit for the whole year. Year two, you start with Caleb Williams.
Nah,
If
man, I
you
don't
know,
know, man. I would rather y'all get the first pick, trade down,
nope,
and then still
nope,
pick up Harrison Jr.
nope.
and then come next year.
Taking Caleb Williams. Rich,
That's it. That's the end of discussion.
you can say whatever you want. They are taking Caleb Williams number one if they get the first pick.
Oh man,
There's
I don't know, man.
I would bet my everything that I own on that.
Would you be upset if they hear me out? If you would you be upset if they went back and got let's say the fourth pick or whatever, and then they were able to get Harrison Jr. right from Ohio State, and then next year that one of those picks they traded back for in terms of the first pick, and they get Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, but now you're putting a lot of what ifs out there. So you can't bank on that. And no, I'm not taking a chance that.
No, I'm saying if it worked out either
Yeah,
that way,
I mean,
the secondary
maybe.
option.
I don't know if Shedeur Sanders is he looks good so far, but he had a pretty bad game last week against a pretty good Oregon team. So I don't know. I mean, I'm taking Caleb Williams, and I'll worry about the rest of it later. Because without I mean, honestly, like if Rodgers comes back next year, if he's healthy enough to play, you got 1 year. I don't think he's playing. I think he's done after next year. And so if you're banking on who do you have behind him? You have Zach Wilson. Like that story, and if not Zach Wilson, it's going to be some other backup quarterback. So you got to take Caleb Williams, and that's it. I mean, that's the end of the story. The Jets would be ridiculed if they didn't take Caleb Williams.
I mean, you guys heard it here first. So,
but believe me, the Jets are going to win just enough games not to be in contention for that top pick, so it won't even matter.
I mean, you guys get some you guys can sign Kirk Cousins in the offseason.
Great. I honestly, I'd take Kirk Cousins right now.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been a bad quarterback. I think he's just been on teams where the defense wasn't there and like pretty much one-sided teams.
Yeah, and he just I think he struggles in the bigger games. I don't know. It's just I think I honestly I would take him.
But I feel like if he had a run game, that would kind of minimize his the pressure on him.
Might.
But we'll see, man.
Yep.
And then another week 3 for the week 3 games, we had the Falcons versus the Lions. I mean, Lions took care of business. Looks like the Falcons kind of fool's gold out here, man. But we're gonna wait and see. That division is still up for grabs, so they can still sneak into the playoffs. Because there's not really one dominant team in that division.
Yeah, I think the Saints are sneaky good. They got a really good defense, and they'll have Kamara back this week. I know Derek Carr is hurt right now, but I think Jameis will be fine, filling in. But I think that team is well coached, and I think they're going to be sneaky good. And to be honest, I think that's a tougher division than we probably first thought. I think the Bucs have been also sneaky good, So yeah, I think they got a tough road there. But yeah, I think it could end up being a more competitive division than we had first thought.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just gonna have to wait and see. Because I mean, they both have coaching experience. They have veteran players, and then it's pretty much just gonna come down to their quarterbacks. That's gonna whoever's not turning over the ball. Your boy Baker's been looking good, despite the Eagles defense being all over him last game. But Carr has been a normal solid quarterback. He just hasn't been able to win the big games. But they both got good defenses, so I mean that's going to keep them in the games, and they don't. So which means they don't need to score much, but they can score. They got a bunch of weapons on both sides. So
absolutely.
Then we got the Chargers versus the Vikings. Talk about a shootout. These teams went back and forth. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I feel like both these teams need new head coaches. but more so on the Vikings, they need to redo the whole roster.
Yeah, I feel bad for Justin Jefferson. He's I think they got some good weapons on that team. I like to talk about Kirk Cousins is fine. But yeah, defense is not great. And they just, I think they were 11-1 in one score games last year. This year they're already 0-3 in one score games. So it's a little, they say those one score games are kind of 50-50. So it feels like karma's going the other way this year for them. But yeah, I mean, it's I'd say that Kirk being on his last year of his contract, don't know what's going to happen. Justin Jefferson hasn't signed his contract for a reason, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how this all plays out. But yeah, there may be a big shakeup in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, they're gonna do the Justin Jefferson for T. Higgins trade in the offseason, man. And then now you're gonna have Joe Burrow with his 2 receivers from LSU. It's gonna be a crazy day in the NFL. They're gonna send Joe Mixon and T. Higgins and Boyd over to Minnesota, and then now
All of them.
Minnesota just needs a quarterback.
I guess we'll have to wait and see for that one.
I don't know. That's probably a decent trade for Minnesota, because now they get a running back, they get a like a 1A receiver, and then a possible like 2-3 receiver. And they're gonna have the young Addison. Like I said, they just gotta re-sign Cousins, and then rebuild that defense.
Yeah,
But
defense is where they need the help.
yeah, they're gonna need some picks out of that. Some,
yeah.
But that's my prediction.
I like it.
And then then we had the Bears versus the Chiefs. I mean, this game was a blowout. I mean, we get to see Taylor Swift, and they actually cut the game short, man, when it was like 34-0 or something.
Oh yeah, they turned it off. It was hot trash.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Your boy Fields kind of caught I don't know if it was a concussion or he was a little dazed, but your boy DJ Moore was like, yo, man, we gotta go to the bench, man. What you doing?
What you doing?
But I mean, hopefully they can pull it together next game, because they're gonna be playing the Broncos, so both teams is hot garbage. So
yeah, that's gonna be a tough watch, I think.
I'm gonna have to check it out, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
The Broncos who just put up 70, got 70 put on them. Then yeah, you get the Bears who, if they wanted to, the Chiefs probably could have put 70 on them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We're gonna wait and see who's gonna be this is the garbage bowl right here, man. Whoever loses this is gonna be one of the worst teams in the NFL. So. And
I still think if the Bears get the top pick, they're still drafting Caleb Williams and getting rid of Fields.
Yeah, I think that's what they should have did this offseason with that pick.
Yeah. But who they would have to take? They would have to, like, looking at it right now, CJ Stroud is the better option through the first few games here, or maybe Anthony Richardson. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You could have traded Fields, got more picks, and then still got a quarterback. But because they need a lot of help still.
Yeah.
And then we had the Cowboys versus the Cardinals. Cowboys go out, they put 40 up on the Giants, and then the Giants go out, beat the Cardinals, put up like 28 and a quarter or half, and come back and beat them. And then the Cowboys go out there and they lose to the Cardinals.
Makes total sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. The Cowboys have trouble beating teams that they're supposed to beat, and then teams that could play them well, that's when they go all out for. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see how their season falls out as well, because they lost Diggs. So
yeah, that was tough middle of the week losing a guy like that in practice.
Yeah, and it's so random too. It was like, wasn't even like during the game.
No,
I don't think we normally see big injuries like that during the practice.
Not during this part of the year in practice, at least.
Yeah, because there's not really much contact in NFL practice now.
No,
we're gonna wait and see how they play, how the Cowboys end up playing out. Then we had the Steelers and the Raiders. Steelers won this game. Wasn't too much here. Raiders were struggling.
Yeah, Jimmy G might be out for a little bit.
Yeah, your boy Adams was hinting at a trade. I mean, the Raiders are the Raiders, man.
Yeah.
Then we had the double headers on the Monday night games. We had the Eagles versus the Buccaneers. Eagles defense went crazy on them.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like pretty much that Georgia defense from the past few years on the NFL field, wreaking havoc. But then we had the Rams versus the Bengals. Your boy Joe Burrow holds off and takes down the Rams. But the Bengals defense helped them stay in the game. So hopefully this give them some momentum going forward.
Yeah, it was a bit of an ugly start over there in Cincinnati, but yeah, I think that they pulled it out. He got the win, and they were like, how close were you to not playing? And he's like, well, we were 0-2 and we couldn't go 0-3, so I was playing no matter what.
Oh yeah. So I mean, like I said, hopefully this gets them back on the right track. I think going forward, Joe Burrow's gonna be playing more preseason games. Can't be sitting out like that, bro. Getting mad rusty. But I mean, it's the real test is coming up because they're gonna have I think they play the Bills and then somebody else.
Yeah,
that's pretty good coming up. So
yeah, they got a tough schedule coming up.
And then for this week 4, Thursday night game, got the Lions versus the Packers. The surprising Packers team is 2-1. Your boy Love is looking lovely. He's out there dishing and diming to all those different options they have, whether it be Reed or Dobbs. Watson hasn't even back. Watson's not even back yet, and so was Dylan. Dylan's out, so hopefully they come back this week. But I think it's gonna be a good matchup now.
Sounds like Watson should be back this week, so that'll hopefully open up the offense a little for the Packers. But yeah, obviously you got the Lions who got back on track against the Falcons, and a good start for the Green Bay team. So yeah, it should be a good Thursday night matchup here.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to checking this out. And then on the regular games, we got the Dolphins versus the Bills. That number one offense against a great Bills defense. We'll be able to see if the Dolphins can put up as much points as they did against the Bills, even though Jalen Waddle was out. But I'm sure the Bills are going to have some interesting things on how to stop some of their players. But Tyreek Hill has been the killer of the Bills. So we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup there. I know it's I don't know if it's too early or whatever, but this should have been probably the Sunday night game. This could be an AFC Championship preview between these two teams. The way that the Dolphins are playing, really a really balanced offense. I think they have similar amounts of rushing and passing yards. They're just they're not asking Tua to do too much, and the yards after contact or yards after catch for these the Dolphins is wild. So
yeah, I mean they do a great job of getting the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just getting the ball straight to the guy who was supposed to go to, so they can work their magic. And then we're gonna have the Ravens versus the Browns. I mean that should be a decent game, individual game. Those games are always close. Then we got the garbage bowl between the Broncos and the Bears. So I mean whoever loses this game is gonna be one of the worst teams in the NFL. I mean the Broncos haven't been playing bad. They just haven't their defense is nowhere to be found. And then the Bears are just missing on both sides. So
yeah, absolutely.
And then the Sunday night game. I mean, this would have been a great game if your boy Aaron Rodgers was playing, but we got the Chiefs versus the Jets. I mean, hopefully you guys can keep it close.
I hope so. Yeah, I don't think that they will, but it would be nice.
I mean, your defense has got to go Baltimore Raven defense and put up points, man.
Yeah,
keep you guys in the game.
I'm dreading the game a little bit, Rich.
I mean, is it away? Hold on. Oh no, yeah.
No, it's in New
I was
York.
gonna say if it was an Arrowhead, maybe you could see Taylor Swift again, but
they just announced she will be at the game on Sunday in New York.
Oh man, I mean,
things getting serious.
You gotta have something forward to look through then. And then the Monday night game, we're gonna have the Seahawks versus the Giants. Hopefully, this is a chance for the Giants to get back on track. The Seahawks give up a lot of points on defense. Just a great opportunity for Daniel Jones to air it out, for them to figure out some plays on how to get the ball to Waller and some of those other receivers while Barkley's out. And then on to the NBA. Finally, after 1,000 summers and winters, your boy Dame Lillard gets traded to the Bucks. Team came out of nowhere, but apparently, they kind of said there was they had to trade sitting in the cut for a while, and it's just Miami just didn't give up enough. They didn't like the package they were given, so they went ahead and pulled the trigger with the Bucks.
Yeah, I was a little shocked when that came through. The Bucks were pretty quiet, coy, and yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if they gave up a ton. Again, I also don't know if they gained a ton. It'll obviously play out, but I felt like Drew Holiday was a pretty tough guy to go against in the playoffs. Plays awesome defense. Had a really, maybe not last year, a couple years ago, had just a really good score the ball well, shooting the three well. So I think it'll be time will tell. Obviously, getting a top 5, top 10 guy like Lillard is tough to pass up. So like I said, I don't think they gave up a ton. Doing some pick swaps and then getting Phoenix in and into it, and them getting rid of Ayton is probably a bigger win than Dame going to the Bucks. So
Oh yeah.
but yeah, now you got the Miami Heat guys are all butthurt, and Butler was saying that they're tampering, and Tyler Harrow's jumping in on it, so they kind of sound like jilted lovers down there.
Yeah, man. But I mean, this puts the Bucks right back in contention,
Mhm.
even though they weren't really far from it. But I kind of think this gives them more firepower, right?
Yep.
As far as them spreading the floor, because
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
I think this helps their spacing, where Dame is a majority 3-point shooter, and pretty much can shoot all out from the three point line, while Giannis is attacking the basket. Allows them to kick out to more shooters. But I'm also interested to see how Middleton comes back, because he kind of still wasn't fully recovered from last year. And then
Yeah.
if they can bring back some of those other role players, because those were also important on that team as well.
Yep. Agreed.
Who would you say are the top 4 teams in the East and West?
Whew. Top 4 in no particular order. I'd still go Celtics, Bucks. Probably still go. I don't know. Celtics, Bucks. What else do we like? I don't like Philly. I think they're trash. Probably the Heat. I'll probably throw the Heat in there just because they're gritty, and I feel like comes to playoff time, they're going to be there. And who else? Who else we got, Rich?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard not to go with the Knicks but I feel like the Knicks are gonna digress a little bit.
Yeah, I do too. Let's go with.
I mean, you got Cleveland.
I'll go. I was gonna say I'll go with the Cavs.
Yeah. I like the free agent pickup as far as drafting Amani Bates.
Yeah.
He's a nice little forward for them. That's gonna help spread the
Yeah.
floor, give them some scoring. And then they got pretty much Spider and all the returning players. I mean,
Yeah.
they did finish 4th, but they struggled in the playoffs. But hopefully they can figure it out. Become after having that playoff experience under their belt, they can they understand and know how it feels to be in the playoffs, and you can match that
Sure.
intensity, so it doesn't feel like you guys getting out hustled against teams in the playoffs. So
Yeah, and then in the West is it's to me probably a little bit tighter. Looking at obviously the Nuggets, Warriors, Suns, and Grizzlies for me.
okay. I don't know. I might have to say I'll probably say the same.
Yeah.
But depending on how the Grizzlies play
Timberwolves are
without
right
Ja.
there. Yeah. I mean, you got a couple teams, right? The Timberwolves right there. Obviously, the Lakers aren't. I think they're going to be in the conversation. Clippers and the Mavericks should be in that conversation too. And depending if we get Zion back for more than 30 games, Pelicans could make some noise down there too.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the Kings, man. They were second.
Oh, the Kings. Oh, geez, I forgot about the Kings. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kings are there too. There's that. I feel like the high end is maybe not there in the West, but they're like those like I'd say tier 2 teams are really solid.
Yeah, man. The West is just stacked. That's the problem. It's just gonna come down to who has the hot start, who avoids injuries, and I mean, who. That's pretty much it. I mean, ultimately, I'm looking forward to basketball coming back as well. So, just to see if the Suns can repeat, or if somebody could come in and take that throne. But I might have to roll with the field on this one. But it just depends on who can get out the West, and then who can get out the East.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it for the NBA. On to MLB. Season's winding down. Playoffs kicking off October 3rd. Pretty much looking at the on the AL side, Orioles and Rangers. Now they bumped up. Going to get that first round bye. Then we're going to have the Twins versus the Astros, and the Rays versus the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little tight on that last spot. We got the Mariners are half game back from the Blue Jays? Astros. So yeah, the Rays, Orioles, both Twins are all locked in. Twins are going to get in the third spot there. They're going to be playing the Rays, and then they get the Rangers and potentially the Blue Jays, maybe the Astros. Still trying to figure that one out. But the Mariners are sitting back there, half game back in the win column from the Astros. So, and the Yankees are beating the Blue Jays again tonight. So that could tighten up a little bit as well.
Oh yeah, I'll probably, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably gonna say the Astros and the Rays gonna advance to the next round, and then I don't know if I believe in the Rangers yet, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Orioles, they be kicking ass.
That second round should be interesting.
Yeah, that second round is gonna be interesting as well. Yeah, like you said, that second round is gonna be interesting. Because I feel like the Rays and the Astros get to the AL finals.
Yeah.
Right. Or the AL championship. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
could definitely see them there.
And then on the National League side, looks like the Braves and the Dodgers going to take the 1-2 bye. Then you have the Brewers versus the Cubs, and then the Phillies versus the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and the Marlins are nipping at the Cubs. Marlins lost today. Cubs are winning right now. So it's with 4 games left, it's kind of just like holding on to that last spot.
Yeah, man, but I don't know. I feel like the 1-2 in the NL side is going to pretty much be in the NL championship. So
I would think so. Yeah, you never know. Sometimes in those 5-game series, if your ace gets beat in that first game, sometimes it's tough to come back from.
Yeah. The Phillies could make another run, but I don't know if they got it in them though.
Yeah. We got the Ryder Cup this weekend.
Okay.
Out in Rome, Italy. Marco Simone Golf Club. So you got 12 U.S. against 12 European. Yeah, it should be fun. Been watching a lot of the practice rounds, things like that. Course looks amazing. They actually had Novak Djokovic out there. He drove the 16th green. It's kind of funny, but yeah, it's these are always a good time. I think the Europeans are favored, but the Americans have the higher ranked team, which is kind of classic Ryder Cup, especially in Europe. They set these courses up to play more to the style of the Europeans, which is, I think we talked about it here before, hitting fairways and greens and being a little more precise with your shots, whereas the American style is really more pound it as far as you can and then figure it out. Doesn't necessarily play as well on some of these European courses, because if you're off the fairway, it can be very penal. Much like the course I played over the last weekend. If you miss the fairway, you are in trouble. So it should be fun. These are always a joy to watch. You get some early start times. Obviously in Europe, I think they start at 2 a.m. Eastern time. On Friday, they'll have 8 matches, 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, and then same thing on Saturday, and then the singles on Sunday. But always good time. It's like the one time in golf where team golf is kind of fun. Everyone is rooting for one side or the other, and then these guys get pretty intense. So I'm excited. It should be a fun one to watch.
And then who you liking in this one?
I'm gonna be a tough one. If I had to, put my life on it, I'd probably go Europe. In a tight match, something like 14.5 to 13.5, something like that. It's just they've got a couple really hot players. You got Hovland, a couple of the European guys over there. I mean, they're playing pretty well. And it again suits their game better than the course suits their game better than the American side.
So basically, if I go with any European, I should be good.
I would, if you're going to bet it, I would bet the U.S. because you're probably going to get some better odds. But yeah, if you're looking at singular matches, especially the afternoon matches when they play alternate shot, I would say the Europeans usually have an advantage on that side.
Okay, you guys heard it here first. Bet on the pound, man. Bet on the pound. And then it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, we did some enchiladas this week, so it's a good weeknight meal. But this one a little bit different than ones we've done in the past. So just crock potted the chicken with a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic, and chicken broth. Let that slow cook for 8 hours, and then shredded it up. And then for the filling, did some cannellini beans mixed with green chili, some more chicken broth, salt, pepper. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it there. And then let that kind of simmer down into a little thicker sauce, and then added the chicken into that, and that was kind of what went into the inside. And then for the sauce that went on top, it was again green chili, garlic, butter, onion, salt, pepper, and then green chilies again, and then some water in there to kind of make it a little saucier, and then turn that off when that all got mixed together, and added sour cream in, kind of made it a more of a creamy sauce. Then just filled some tortilla shells, rolled the sauce on top of that, and then topped that with cheese, some Mexican cheese, and baked it in the oven for about a half hour. And boom, you're good to go. It's a little bit of a healthier version, so we used like fat-free sour cream. The sauce was a little bit lighter. If it wasn't a healthier version, probably try to go for some more sauce there. But other than that, it was really good. A little spicy too.
Oh, you can't go wrong with the spice, man. So
No.
yeah, it's definitely that sounds great.
Yeah.
And then what did you guys drink that down with?
So checked out a new brewery called Armored Cow Brewing. It's a little bit north east of Charlotte. Cool place. It's in a little bit of a strip mall, but like they had a nice little outdoor patio, really cool inside area, and a bunch of beers on tap. So I went with the Outlander. It was kind of their pumpkin. I would say not exactly pumpkin, more of like a fall type beer. It's they coin it as being a spiced beer, and it did have had the pumpkin flavor. I didn't think it was all that bad. It was maybe a little bit too sweet for me. I had one. I thought first sip was fantastic, and it's one of those where it's like when you have something that's probably like a little bit too sweet. Like you have a first bite, you're like, oh, this is great, and then the further you get, you're like, oh, I can't eat any more of this.
Oh yeah.
So by the time I got to the end, I was like, thank God that's over. It did have a really good flavor. If I were to get one of those, I would definitely get like an 8-ounce pour. That's probably perfect. 16 was probably a little too much, but it had a really good kind of upfront flavor. It was kind of sweet. Sometimes the pumpkin ales they're more like I'd say they're more like a little bit spicy, if you know what I mean. Instead of
it's
sweet.
like that. I won't say cinnamon or like
Yeah,
it has like that kick to
nutmeg. It. Yeah. So, but yeah. Other than that, I thought it was pretty good. I'd probably give it a solid, we'll say 7.
That's not bad. It's a solid choice, man.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I ever had any pumpkin flavored anything that didn't have that like that kick to it from the nutmeg.
Yeah, they almost all have it. The one I did before on here, the Foothills one, didn't really have that strong of a nutmeg taste to it, so I thought that was almost a little bit better.
I'm gonna try to find something without that nutmeg, and it was just the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Just to see if it's a taste difference.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
And then that's JD's Bison Brew, everybody. And then for this week for the BRRs, I mean, I started the first episode of Love Is Blind. I was gonna wait, but I gave in to temptation, man.
Couldn't avoid it, huh?
Nah, man. They kept showing the previews. I was like, oh, look like it might be some drama, man. Let me just put it on, man. There's a little drama in the first episode. How far did you get into it?
I finished the first episode, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when your boy found out homegirl cheated, he gave it a straight guilt trip, man.
Yeah, he wasn't having that.
Then he changed his mind like 5 minutes later, realized he fucked up. So
classic.
We're gonna see what happens on the next few episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so far so good in the season.
We got four episodes.
Oh, that's all they gave us? 4?
I thought so. I thought that's what Tom said.
Oh man, that's whack, man. Yeah, I might have to wait. I might have to slow it down then. Blow through those in the night.
Right.
But on the other side, I checked out on Netflix Dear Child. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
It's one of the foreign shows, so they have the voiceovers. Pretty much about a family that's brought up in like captivity since they were kidnapped, and they kind of go when the mother pretty much escapes from the family, and then people are trying to identify who she is, where she came from, stuff like that. While the father, or they call him Papa, he's like I won't say killer, but the person that's keeping everybody hostage, um, is still plotting to get his kids and the mother back. A lot of story to it as far as like what was going on, the kid, how messed up the kids are. Definitely something you want to check out though.
Okay.
I think it's short too, only 6 episodes, so that'd be a nice little Sunday. Well, football's on, so maybe Saturday evening to the night binge watch, or even Friday.
Saturday. Yeah.
So definitely check that out when you get a chance. That'll probably give like a 7.5. It was good, man.
Okay.
And then checked out the new Mission Impossible. This was okay, man. Despite how many, I'm not really a huge fan of Tom Cruise, but he does make some movies that I like. I'm not gonna lie, it's not one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. I think my favorite one is the Tomorrowland or Tomorrow War, whatever it was.
Yeah.
For some odd reason. But this one wasn't bad, man.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually heard good things about that one.
Yeah, and there's only part 1, so I think they're pushing out part 2 next year. So,
Nice.
I mean, it's like 2.5 hours, so it's a decent watch.
Okay.
And then outside of that, I mean, it wasn't really much else, man. I'm trying to think. It wasn't really much else. Still scouring through shows. Still watching Invasion here and there, and then I'll probably check out Dumb Money this weekend, and then that's about the people that made the money off of GameStop.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe they turned around that movie so fast.
Hey, when they
I
want
feel
to
like
do
that was
something,
just yesterday.
they can.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much else out there, man.
Hopefully with the writers getting back on, hopefully we get the actors back here soon. We'll get going on a bunch of these shows that have been waiting.
Oh yeah, they did put out a preview for the Game of Thrones. It looks like the White Walker's gonna be in it too. So
okay.
Yeah, it's about to go down, man. I feel like HBO, but that's the thing. I feel like even though they're on strike now, a lot of the shows that's about to come out, they already have filmed and they're ready to go. So
let's do it.
And then that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.